Hi, everybody. It is Tuesday, Templar Day, and we are getting ready for today's final version of what we are currently doing, which is building a website with some inspiration from the internet that we have found and integrating the booking calendar. So I hope that you guys have watched our previous sessions because if you're watching this right now, you might get a little bit confused. But before we get going, first let me introduce myself. If you guys do not know, I'm Jackie. I'm your success coach. Normally, I've got the marketing director, Pierre, with me, but he's traveling today as well. But that's okay. We can manage, right? And then I just want to welcome those that's in the chat. Hello, Tom. Thank you for being around here. It's really awesome to always see you in the chat as well. All right, so you can see that I've started to share my screen immediately with you. If my background doesn't sound to look too great or my voice don't sound too great, it's because I'm working from my laptop. I'm really living the laptop life, right? That's what they always say in digital marketing, you need to live the laptop life. But with a laptop, sometimes you've got other issues. You're not using the right speakers and all those things. So I really hope if it's a little bit too bad or too in your ears, make sure that you just turn down your volume a bit. All right, so let's get started. The very first thing that we are going to do today is I'm going to go through the site to explain to you exactly what we have done in the past. All right, but I just need to go and stop sharing my screen and share another screen because the one that I'm currently sharing is a tab and I need to share something else. So let me just go and click stop sharing and then share my screen, which is actually the window and not that specific one. So hopefully you guys can see now the website builder. Let me know in the comments if you can see that because, or let me actually go to YouTube and you guys will see what happens if I now play around with a laptop and not having an additional screen right here. It makes it sometimes a little bit difficult, but it's fine. We can manage, right? So let me just quickly go into Template Tuesday here. So it looks like it's fine, but it is not showing up my screen here. So let me just stop sharing that and do this. Now it should be showing it. Let's see. It's always so difficult if you're playing around trying to make something work. So let's just, yes, that's it. All right, we are in. All right, so let's get started. What did we do previously? So let's go through it. We've got our background that we've created here. We've got our book to call right here at the top, which is basically our call to action, right? We need to have a call to action. And then we've got our credibility with different kinds of partners that the company is partnering with. Then we've got our big menu that is happening right here at the top. So when people go through the different ones, we've got financial, manufacturing, travel, telecom, and retail. We didn't put any content into these areas last week because we're just showing you one. And then you can always just copy whatever you've got here into these different areas with different information for those specific people. And then obviously we've got the schedule to call with Josh, which is in this area right here. And then we've got our testimonial, which is the ones we're going to do today. We've got the service feature that you can add as well. And then we've got our booking at the bottom. So this is the group booking. So if I'm talking about a group booking, that is basically, just want to move that sharing out of the way. This is what the client is going to see for all the different kinds of industries and that they can make a booking. But if they are going to click on schedule with Josh, it's going to go directly just to Josh's diary. So I want to show you guys what that looks like. So I'm going to just hit preview and we're just going to go through it right here. So here you can click and you can click with Josh, trainings or Adele. But if you want to make use of just Josh and you click, this one is going to lead to just Josh. Okay, let me stop this one and go to the live website rather. So let's just go one back and view the live. And then we're going to click on Josh, schedule with Josh. And you can see it opens up a new booking just for Josh. All right. It's the same with the button at the top. The booking here is going to go to a group booking where the person can choose which one of the calendars they want, or they can scroll to the bottom. Depending on where they are on your page, they can choose to go and schedule with that as well. All right. So that is basically giving you the idea of that. So what are we going to do today? Today we need to take a look at testimonials and a service feature, what we're going to add in. There is a template that we've been using in Canva. So you guys must bear with me. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen for a moment so I can get to our calendar. So just bear with me, guys. I'm just going to go to the one that we always use every single week in Canva. I'm just going to see if I can get into that template. And then I will start sharing the complete screen again with you. And we can take a look at what we are going to do today. So now I can start sharing my screen again. Stop sharing. And share screen. And we're going to do this window. And I'm going to add this in. All right, so let's take a look here. So this is what we've built so far. You guys can see the right here. I'm just going to scroll it up a little bit. This is what we've set up. We've set up the lead engine right here at the top. We've set up our credentials there at the bottom. Then we've got our block right here that we've created. And then we've got our calendar at the bottom. But what we haven't got yet is our testimonial, which is this one right here. And then we've got the features. But we're not going to be bothered about the features this week. We're going to finalize this today with just the testimonials and something that we can do at the back of this. And I'm going to show you now why I'm saying that. So let's just jump in and see if we could do anything for the testimonials. So let's just go back. We're going to scroll down and we're going to take a look at the testimonials. So let me just close that and go to the testimonials. So I'm going to delete the testimonial word because we want to make sure that we always use the consistent information all across. And I'm going to show you now what I mean about being consistent. And we are going to go and grab a rotation. Now, you guys will know, if you've been watching our Template Tuesday often in the last few weeks, you will realize that we constantly use the rotation banner. It's because you can do so much with it. And again, when it comes to testimonials and the example that we have, that is exactly what that is again. So I'm going to show you now, going to the rotation banner. And we are going to add, I'm just going to grab this one right here and put it in the middle there. We're not going to worry about having so many. So I'm going to click on the slider page and we're going to remove the slider pages. And I'm going to remove that one as well, so that we only sit with one slide page. And then we're going to duplicate our design to all the pages. So now you can see we've got a variety of buttons here. We can remove the buttons. We can remove the text. I'm just going to keep that one text for now so that we can work with that. We can remove that as well. And I'm going to show you a shortcut here. So let's just take that out so that we just have the blank in that area. And then underneath the panels, you will find that we've got testimonial panels here. You really don't have to reinvent the wheel and trying to figure things out yourself. You can use the shortcuts that is currently available to you. So you can see here under the panels with testimonials, there's a variety that you can choose from. So we know that we saw earlier, it's like something similar to this that we can add. So let's go and just click on this testimonial one here. Now remember, it is not going to add the testimonial in that area. It's a new panel that has been added. So we need to go to the bottom and we need to go grab it here. So you can see here is our testimonial. So what we're going to do is we are just going to move this panel up because we want to get it up to the top. I think it's about up to 7. Let's see quickly. So we're moving that one. Let's see where it has placed it. So we've got it right there, and it is right by it. All right. So let's do that. We just place it in the box for our testimonial. Now you can choose to use these companies as well, or you can have all of them. But in this example, we're just going to have that one logo, just to get an idea of what it needs to look like. Because remember, in this example here, they've got the person's name. Let me see if I can make it bigger. They've got the person's name and they've got the information, but we can just add, to put that extra into it, a company logo. Because remember, we are working with industries, different kinds of industries. So it is always a good idea to have some type of, how can I put it, some type of credentials added to the person. So here we can just write testimonial. And now remember, this is industry focus. So we can go and create different kinds. We've got financial, manufacturing, travel. So let's start with manufacturing. So this specific testimonial will be for manufacturing. All right, we've got that as manufacturing. This is the testimonial for that specific company. So I'm just going to do this so that we can have it and then just center it. And then that's the company logo. And then we can also have the person's name. So I'm just going to enter, let's say, Mr. D. Brummer, something like that. And we're going to highlight it, make it bold. Right. And then we've got the company logo. We're not going to worry about company logo in details because it's the idea that counts here. And then there's something extra that we can add. I'm just going to duplicate this because it's just going to make it easier for me. So I'm going to go and delete up to there. And then I'm going to go into the little icon that looks like a flag. And we are going to add a star. And we're going to look for that star. We can see we're going to choose that one. And then what I'm doing is I'm just removing the other text that's in front of it because we don't want that. And we're going to click on it again and say star again because we want 5 stars, right? So let's go look for 5 stars. There we've got 2. And we're going to do another one. I'm going to click search. We've got another one. And let's do another one. Search. And we add another one. So now we've got 4. Let's go for another one. Oops, I just pressed the wrong button. Let's just go like that. And we're going to go for another one. Search. And we choose star and select and save. So now we've got our stars. Now to change the color of these stars, let me just scroll up a little bit. We're going to double click on it. And when you double click on it, there is a little blue line going around it, right? Then you're going to go and choose your color. Oh, not that one. Undo, 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 undo. Double click. Go to the letter because it's basically a letter that you're adding. And there you're going to see perfectly up into the top. So there we go. There is our first one. Now, this is a very big one. We really don't need to have that much space for our example here. So we need to make this a little bit shorter. So there we go. Now it is important to think how you are going to make this thing move. Is it going to be animated to the left, to the right? How do you want that? So firstly, we can autoplay or we can have an arrow. I prefer not to have the arrow in this case. And I will just make use of a fade in and fade out. We're not going to have a slider. And then you can obviously increase how fast those things go, but let's just leave it as it is. And the next step now is, now that you've set up what it looks like, you're literally going to go and click on that specific slider and duplicate it. And you're going to duplicate it for as many as industries that you have. Now, remember, how many industries do we have currently? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we will go 5 times to duplicate the exact same thing so that we do not have to go and add those stars every single time. You guys get what I'm trying to say here. So we've got now 3. Now we need to do another one. And I'm just going to click again. If it's a little bit on the slow, it's because I'm streaming from my laptop, as you guys know, and my internet is not that great. So there we've got 5 now. So we've got manufacturing is on 1. Then we've got the next one. So the next ones could be financial. So we're going to double click. This is the financial one. And obviously you need to change the content of each one. This one might be retail. And let's just see which is the other one. Travels and telecom. Then we've got travel, and we've got telecom. So there we go. That's what we've got so far. Perfect. So now we've set that up. We've got our testimonials in place. I'm going to click on save. And we're going to just wait for it. And I'm not going to showcase everything what we've done right now. We're going to wait until the very end when we're done with this page. And I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like when it is live. All right. So there we've got that now. That is now nice in place. So we've got that. There is our testimonials. Remember that you have to make sure to create your global elements and fonts right in the beginning. We speak about this in our first Template Tuesday we did a while ago. So if you go to our Builderall YouTube channel and you go to Template Tuesday playlist, the very first kindergarten one that we've done, you will be able to view there exactly how to set it up. So all that your font on your website is exactly the same. We're not doing it as an example because we want to showcase how to build these templates and what you can do. So now let's see if we can work in the service feature, because I think this is an important aspect to have as well. So I'm just going to delete that. Then we're going to go back to our Template Tuesday here. We've done with this section. We want to mimic what they've got right here. So I'm going to go be a little bit smaller. It's basically an image, and then it's got a header with some information and numbers that they've got in that specific area. Now, let's see what we can do with regards to this. Ours might look slightly different to what this is. So let's just go back. And before we jumped in with that, let's go take a look what we've got under the panels. And I'm going through the motions because sometimes you might find that there is already things available in the template area or in the panel area, and you don't have to go and replicate it. So we've got contents, and I don't think you can find something like that in the contents area. I think we're going to find it more in the panel itself, the template itself. But here is something similar where there is numbers added to it. So you can go and grab that one and create that. So let's just click on that. So that's been added to the page. Let's see if there is something that we can use in the panels that is available right here. So these are all first fold panels, and you can scroll through it. I'm going quite fast through them so that I can just eyeball to see if there is something available in that area. Let's go take a look at animated videos and see what we can see here. Those are background videos. Business banners. Maybe we've got something under the business banners. We just give it some time to load. And I think most of the time, maybe under an upsell, you could have an upsell that gives you a specific time period that they say you have to buy or the time is running out, but it doesn't seem that that is there. All right, so let's just use what we currently have, which is the information that we see right here. So again, I'm just going to move this one up so that we do not have that at the bottom, and it is being moved. So there we go. We got it at the top. So we want to get it into that banner. I kind of like this little arrow that has been added. It gives a little bit more of a definitions, but you can always go and play around with the background colors at a later stage. You don't have to have them all at the same. So let me just see where it is. I'm just going to keep on up to that level right there. I think it looks quite good. And I'm just going to use this, the same block that they've got right there. And then you can see, we always speak about the importance of using a block, not a block, a box, because boxes is so important in Builderall. So we've got those boxes. On our template, we've got three setups. Let me just go back. We've got three of them. So I'm just going to go three, and then we can delete this panel right here. And we're going to try and mimic what these guys has done on that page. So let's delete that one. And this panel right here is now, that's right, that's our calendar. So let's just stretch it so that we can work with just this section. And I am moving this out of the way now because we first need to add an image. It's all about drafting the kind of idea that you found, it is an idea to find this, to create something very similar like what they've got right there. So let's just go back to the site, and we are going to add the image. And I'm just going to right click so that we can have an image in there of a person. Obviously, you're going to have to make sure that you get your images already before you actually start building your website. We always speak about that often to say it's going to save you a lot of time if you've got all the things planned out right from the beginning. So let's just apply this image here so that we can get the same idea. And then you'll see in the example here, we've got our heading, and then there's a subheading, and there's a little line sitting on that side. So we can even do exactly the same type of thing. So instead of having the wording right there at the top, the wording is on the side. So let's bring this person up. We're going to bring in the box to the top. We're just going to bring in the box like this. And we're going to bring in the wording in a little bit so that we can get something similar. Let's see what they've got. And I'm going to show you how to add that little line. All right. So I'm just going to stretch this so that it's not on top of it. And then you'll see under the elements inside of the side panel, you're going to find a line divider. So if we're going to go to lines right here, you're going to see here is the lines that you can use. You can add the line. And let's see where they've placed it. It was underneath it. It's kind of like something like this. The difference is that the wording at the top was not in the middle, but on the side. So you can have your line as well right there. And then you can change it to fit your color scheme, obviously. So we're just trying to replicate something similar like that. And we're going to make sure that this text is also on the side to create the same idea. So now we've got that at the top, which is basically the same as what they've got. And we are going to try and replicate something similar to this. Now, we don't have the circles as much, but we have got something else, and we can create something very, very close to that. And we've done that before by making use of animated elements. And you guys can see here is our animated elements. And the closest that we got is this one right here, which is a circle. Now, our circle can can be transparent because we can create the background, and then let's remove the background hover color. The background hover color should be the same as what the background is. So let's just make that white. And the background color is also white there. But we've got a border, and we're going to increase the border. And we will need to make sure that we choose the right border shape so that we could mimic the same. Now, you can make it thinner as well. You can make it dotted. It's totally up to you as to what you want to do. And then this is the important part. You know that they've got percentages like 70%, 80%, 85%, but they've got like a background that's running at the back. But we don't have that. This could be images that they're using, but in our example, we would like to make use of percentages. All right. So the very first thing we're going to do here is we're going to make sure that we're going to add the percentages into that area. So we're going to scroll down and we see start number 0 and end number in this case is going to be 80. And we can have it as a percentage. All right. So that is what that one is going to do. Now, what is the font color? Oops, I almost delete something there. We just right click again. The font color for this specific one obviously is going to be black. Let me just start number is 80. All right. And then in the area that we are going to have that number, and I don't know why that's running like that number now, times 2, end number is 80. All right, it will change. Let's just save it quickly and then refresh it. So just hold on a second. We will refresh the screen in a moment so that we can have the same numbers. And we refresh. And we're giving it some time here. All right, there it is. So what we're now going to do is we are going to make sure that we add something into that. So I'm just going to use this, and I'm going to create this as the percentage, right? So all of this needs to be a percentage. So I'm just going to do that, make that a percentage, and we're going to add it right here inside of that block. All right. So getting very closely to what they've done there. So now, obviously, for that specific thing, let me just take out these things out of this block so that we can use that block. I'm just going to take that out, that out. All right. Let me just add it into our box. And we add the percentage into our box. There we go. And then we can also in the same box have our text. So this could be design. And it can go in underneath it. So that we've got the same look and feel. So now we can delete these other things. And only thing we really need to do now is to go and duplicate that box. So I'm just going to delete this. Now, there is really so much you can do. You don't have to necessarily just create it like this. There's other design ideas that you can think about. You can have a colored background as well at the back or at the bottom. And you can see that with some of these other ones. I'm going to show you now in a moment what I mean, where you run a different color at the background. But this example, we just want to duplicate so that you can get an idea of what you can do when it comes to making use of the animated characters. All right, so you can see we've got something similar there. So this one could be development. And I don't know what was the other one. What was the other one? Performance. All right. And then you can change for each one. Obviously, the percentages needs to be changed. So in this case, we can start the percentage here at 95 maybe. And this one could be, let's say, 75, just for the sake of the exercise. All right, so now we've got that. Before I continue there, let me show you quickly what I'm talking about, different kinds of animated things that you can change with the coloring. While we are busy now with it, we might as well do that. So we're going to go back to the animated elements, and you'll see there's one here. I'm just going to drop this now as an example. So you can see it runs up to a point and it's got its background color here. What do you want to happen at the background? So we can say there is another color, and that is the effect that it will give. So you can bring in other colors as well. You don't necessarily have to have it that way. All right. So that's basically with that. I'm just going to delete that now. And I'm just going to delete like this. And then we need to make sure to take a look at all our work to see, you can see we've got round borders, round buttons, round everything. So we need to make sure that our images is consistent and we can create that same roundness. And I'm just going to scroll down to the border radius and we're just going to make this 25 and see what happens. And then you can also create that shadow. It's always important to create a little bit of depth when it comes to these things. So we just do like a little bit of blur and it's already standing out slightly. So you can make a different kinds of colors as well. So now you can see what we've created so far. We've got the gray and the blue kind of thing happening right here. We've got the white. Maybe this area could be more of a grayish kind of thing. So let's just go back and we're going to right click for the panel. Now we're going to play around with the settings of the background here for a moment. So we've got the black, the light bluish, and we've got the brown, not brown, the bluish blue, dark blue, royal blue. I don't know what color you want to call that. So we're going to do it like this, maybe half, a little bit of grayish thing, so that there is a separation between the two. And then with this, it's really important to also consider you can't just leave it like a white column unless you want to do it this way, but that's not what we're trying to achieve here. So we're just going to right click and we are going to change the white background color and just make it transparent so that we do not have that problem. So I'm just going to go and make them completely transparent, and we're going to go to the next one, make it transparent. And that is how you're going to play around with your design until you have found something that works for you. All right. Now you might decide that it should all be the same. You can still do that. It's totally up to you. In our example that we have here, it was all just white underneath each other, but you can see what I'm trying to do here. We've got our colored one at the top, then it's a white, then we've got lightly colored, then we've got the white again, and then here again we've got the same type of thing. So I'm just going to use this color picker, my color picker, and I'm just choosing the same color right there. And I think it looks like it's the same grayish type. I'm not sure. I'm going to copy that and see if it's going to bring me the same color, unless it's my screen. But let's just see quickly. Background settings. It looks like it's a light grayish, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. No, it's not. And I've just done the inner instead of the outer part of the panel. So I need to do not the internal. It needs to be the whole background color right here. So that is definitely that color. Let's see if I do the internal well, because I'll probably change that as well. So I can't see the real difference here. Let's choose the same as this one right here. copy, and we scroll down and we see if we can do it right here as well. All right. And it looks like we've got that right. So there we've got all of that. Now, the last thing that we want to do today is the problem that we might experience here. So let me click save, and I'm going to share my screen and show you what happens in real time. And it is because of the way that we've set up our uh, publish, our big menu right here. So I'm going to show you now what is happening right here. Because normally a big menu is something that you use at the top of your website, right? We normally have it right here at the top. And then there's a big menu that opens up over all of the other things. So we need to do something similar as to this big open space. So if we're going to go and take a look at what the site looks like, you're going to notice that there is an open spot. The top one is fine. Then we've got the credentials, and then there is a blank area right here. And then we've got the manufacturing, and then we've got we are awesome at our work, and then the bottom. I need to refresh because this is obviously not correct. We've changed the color there of the background. But if you click, it gives you all the information that you need. But what are we going to do with this open blank? We need to have something here, like a panel or a color or an image or something in that way. So what we can do is maybe to add another type of image, and therefore that we need to go to our Canva. All right. So let me go to Canva, and I'm just going to close that one and open my Canva and see if we can create a design. Oh, now I can't log into it for some reason. Okay, let's just go back to it and see if we could add some type of a design right here, making use of our AI. So I'm going to go to the panels, right-click it, and we're going to go to change the image. We can see we've got change image. Is that the internal or external? Let me see. Background settings, change image. So we can go take, if we've got something available in our own images that we've got, let's see if there's something I can use. This could be something that can be used, or even this one. And we're going to apply. And you will see what I mean with regards to clicking that you've got an image or something behind it that the person can click to at least not have an open space like we've got right here, because we don't want that effort. So let me see if we can make this a little bit more prettier. I am no designer, but we can try and make this look better. So we're going to go to our background settings and just see what, not that one, see right here what we can do. By clicking on these different areas, you can see what's happening here. You can keep it fixed as well, which means as when you scroll, it stays there, but we're not going to do the fixed. I just need to see if we can find a better image to suit our needs here. So we can, I don't know if this is something, guys. What do you think, guys? Let me know in the comments. What do you think? Do we stick with something like this? I don't know. I don't think it looks too great. Maybe, you see, if we can use the Canva, let me see if I can get in with Canva. There must be a way that I can log in here. Let's just see, because you see, I'm on a laptop. I'm not on my computer today. Let's just go with that one and see if I can enter it. Let's see quickly. No, I can't. Sorry about that. So for here, we're going to have to find another thing. I don't think that is the image that is going to work for this. So let's just go and change the image, my files, and see if we could find something else that might work. I think something like I don't know, a dotted background or subtle, something very, very subtle. I'm just going to see if I could find something. These are something that we used previously. That could also be an idea, but not for this financial type of thing that we are trying to do here. So I just want to see if we don't have any images that reflects the trade industries, something similar. Let me just keep watching here and see if I could find something. Let's see. Here is a background. What does it sound at the backgrounds? That could be something. Let's see if this could work. And I am inside the main area. Hold on a second. That's the internal. We remove that one. Let's change my files. I've just realized there's two things we can do here. You see what it is like when you start thinking about the different kinds of options when it comes to the design, you might as well also try to use the panel dividers. I'm going to show you the panel dividers just now. Let me just do that one with its backgrounds. Let's first see this one with a background, what that's going to look like. So this could be something interesting. And let me remove this transparency thing here. That's interesting. Now it's starting to look like something. So we can have that option, or we can have the option to have it right here at the top with a panel divider. And I'm going to show you what the panel divider is going to do. The panel divider, going to go to the top, elements, and we look for the panel dividers here. Panel. Just a second, let me see if we find it here quickly. Because I think a panel divider is the best thing maybe to go. Let's see here. Panel divider. You can activate it and you'll see that there is a variety of different ones that you can choose. So if you go curve, let's just remove this one that we've currently here, this image from the divider. Let's remove the image we currently have. And let's put in the panel divider here. And we've got different ones to choose from. So we've got arrow reverse. You can see what it looks like here at the bottom. You can have mid arrow. That is an interesting one as well. So if people click, I don't think that one's going to work though. And I think let's stick with the one that we had earlier. So let's just remove the panel divider here and stick with the other one that we had. So I'm just going to go undo and then go back and make that transparent. Stop sharing is always in the way. So let's just go and internal background. Let me just remove that. There we go. So that gives us a better idea. So there is one other thing that we can try to do here to overcome something like this. If we decided that we want to stick with something like this, is either not to make use of the menu like this and have it in a rotation banner like we did with the area here, or we must see what's going to happen with something like this if we make this banner smaller. Is it going to push it down? What is it going to do? So let's just remove this image again of this panel and see what happens if we are going to stick with it like this and if that is going to solve our problem. This is problem solving, guys. It's always about playing around with the tools to get to understand what it looks like and how it works in different kinds of areas. Like I said before, the big menu purpose is not really to be here in the middle of an area like this, but you can make it use in other ways as well. And that is what we are trying to do here. So I'm just going to republish it again and see what happens if we are going to make use of it in that way. And I'm obviously going to have to clear my Cajun cookies for this session. I've got to the wrong one, I think. Where's my templates? Here. Publish. Where's my training site? Is it this one? Let me see. Yes. So let me just refresh this cookies. And that is another thing that we always want to say. Make sure that you refresh your cookies when it comes to the designs. Otherwise, you're never going to know if you're working with the right one. So you can see we've got all of that now. So what happens if you click? There it gives you the information. I think this is better. Even though it opens up over everything, it is still better. But let's play even a little bit more. What if we can make this open up across this whole section? What if we can increase the block of the information to cover the whole page? That is an alternative. So we need to make a decision whether we're going to leave it like this, or would we rather have it open up on the whole page, which means is we need to make this block larger and these buttons will be in different areas. I think for the sake of this, let's leave it the way it is as at the moment, and because I think this looks the best. I really do think that's the best at this stage. So let's go take a look again from scrolling at the top. We've got our images here. We still need to have a banner at the top or a menu at the top. We've got the different industries that people can choose from. I think that looks actually nice. I actually like it that way. I think I would just change the line and I wouldn't have that line there. Then we've got our manufacturing area that will slide. We've got our testimonials. I need to refresh it so that you can see it actually happening. So you can see the numbers run there. It's a little bit fast, and then people can make a booking. So that basically means that we've covered all three of those areas. Now it's just about adding in a heading at the top of the page. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and then we can have a chat and see what else is there. Clarabelle, we started at 9:30. We started, yes, it's always at 3:30, 9:30. That's correct. See if you can use the transparency on the image. Yes, I think that was a little bit earlier. I think I've already answered your question with regards to that one as to playing around. Hello, Ron Bell. It's good to have you here. Welcome to our sessions. So for those that has joined and are watching right now, I'm just going to go back and show something for you guys with regards to our channel in Builderall, because it's important that you get to learn how to work with certain things, especially when it comes to our builder. I know that we have got a lot of new people joining Builderall on a daily basis, and they do not necessarily know how to use the different kinds of elements that is available. So let me just jump in and share my screen with you again so that you can see what I am trying to do here. So I'm going to stop sharing that and share my screen. And I'm sharing the YouTube with you. So you guys can see this is the YouTube channel. So if you go and you go to the playlist area right here, you're going to click on playlist. And then you'll see that we've got a template Tuesday right here. It's got 21 videos at the moment. And then I'm just going to click again on it right here. And this is where you will be able to see all the previous ones that we've done in the past. Now, I would advise for everyone to start with Template Tuesday, which is the kindergarten one, because we're speaking about global headers, global fonts. We're speaking about boxes being used when you build your website. We showcase different kinds of elements with different kinds of environment. So while I am at it, I'm going to share something else with you guys as well now on our website builder. I'm just going to close that one now for a moment, and I'll share the screens that I'm opening up. I'm going to show you all the previous ones that we've done, and you guys can get an idea of what we are talking about and why I'm saying that you need to go and watch those sessions. So I'm going to share my whole screen with you again. This one would be my window, and then I will just go between them. So this was the kindergarten one that we've done the very beginning. And we showed you, and I'm just going to refresh this quickly. We showed you how you can create these different kind of elements like this bouncing that you just saw there. You will be able to see this little star on the left-hand side. You can see how that star changes as we scroll. We showed you how you can do that. There's lots of things actually that you can do. I showed you today how to make use of the rotation banner here. And as you scroll down and I hover over these images, these are boxes that actually change when you hover over it. And this is also something that we showed you during these sessions. And then we've got our images, and then these are all buttons going to different parts of your website. This is also rotation banner. And then the bottom where you've got your drop down where we use an accordion. So this was our very first website, and that's why I'm saying it's important to go back to our original template Tuesday and go through all the different videos. This was our beanbag design that we had. You guys can see right here. In this case, we used AI. We showed you how to create with AI all of these images. And then it's a different way of building a site because they are showcasing basically one product. Here again, we've got the rotation banner. Different way. Remember today I showed you how to use it with testimonials. Today we show you how you can use it with images that rotates. And then we showed you how to do this with the information coming from the left and the right. It's really awesome. If you let me refresh and you guys can see what I mean. The moment it becomes visible, and then the information. Let me stop that guy speaking. And then you can see we've got what our clients are saying. This time we do not have a rotation banner. It's just fixed with a video and a buy button. All right, so that was the beanbag. This was the one that we did for a barbecue. Again, we are making use of a rotation banner here. You guys can see how it changes. This is actually a rotation banner in a different way. That's what I'm saying to you guys. We constantly make use of a rotation banner because of the power. In this case, we just made sure that the background is transparent and it's just the images that moves in between them. And then we've got a fixed banner here at the behind, as you guys can see. The image behind was also created with AI inside of Builderall. And as I move, look what happens at the top. We've got the banner or the menu changing where you can get your discount or special discount happening. Then we've got a burger menu at the top instead of what you normally will have on a website. Normally, you've got the one that is across. Here, we've got just one with an icon. You can write the word menu here, and it just makes the site a little bit more different, if I can put it that way. Then we add our testimonials, and we've got some let's talk, book a call. We make use of an image, and we just drop the image of the website inside of that page right there. And then we have got something that we've combined here. You can see if you click on it, it changes. So this again is a rotation banner that was connected with a menu on the left-hand side. So the rotation banner and the menu are connected to each other. So you can see what we've done there. There was actually three things happening in one here. We had the menu, we had the rotation banner, and inside of the rotation banner, we used the box hover method. So that is basically what's happening there. The fact that this thing changes is because there is a box hover method being used in that area. Then we've got our experts at the bottom. All right, so you've seen that. This is our barbecue one that we've also done. You can also see it's again a rotation banner, bigger image at the top, again a burger menu where you can go between the different ones. And when you scroll, you can see what happens at the back. These are fixed images behind it. And as you scroll, you can see how beautifully these website changes because of the background image. These are both different panels, but the panels change. So right underneath it, we've got the scroll effort. This is the scrolling effort that happens. And then we've got our chefs. So you guys can see we have covered quite a lot of different kinds of things and elements inside of things that we've done in the past. And that's why we constantly say to you guys, do yourself a favor and make sure that you guys go through all of those sections, because if you do not, you're missing out big time learning all the different things that you can do with the elements. So let me see, we missed everything you shared. No. Oh my goodness. You know why you guys can't see my screen? I am currently working with what I'm going to put it this way. I've got on a laptop and I'm not on my original computer at the moment. So let me just open those pages again, and I'm going to try my best to showcase that. So sorry about it, guys. So just hang on to it. It's not the end of the world. Let me just go through it again. Thank you for letting me know in the comments, Clary. So let me just start trying to share. It's because I'm so used to having two screens and now I don't. So let's go to my window. Let's see, window. I'm sharing myself and I'm doing that. So now you should be able to see it. All right, so let's start again from scratch here. This is the page that we did the barbecue. This is a rotation banner that you see right here at the top. All right, changing like that. The only difference here is it's a transparent background and a very big panel. Then we've got our burger menu bar right here at the top where people can choose. And as you scroll, you've got the images at the background. We've got a background image that we uploaded that are fixed. And as we move, the content moves up as well. Then we've got the beautiful images with the savior at the background. These are two different panels happening at the same time. It's just that the images underneath is what makes the difference. All right. Then it's the scroll opaque that happens. And then it's our chefs. So this was the barbecue one. Then we've got the trade agency, which was the button at the top that you can choose burger menu. Again, we make use of the rotation banner at the top, as well as an AI image that we created here. Then we've got our testimonials. We've got, again, a fixed background that is scrolling behind, that is transparent. That's why you get that effect. And then the magic that we used here was, if you click behind, between these two, these are just a normal menu that is vertical, and attached to them we've got these little box hovers. So inside of this rotation banner, because this is a rotation banner, we've got boxes that hover. All right, so as you click on it, it's a rotation banner. Click to the menu and you will be able to open up, and then the images. So that was that one. Then we've got the barbecue one, which was also a burger menu. That's one I showed you before. The beanbag is the one that we've got a rotation banner now here. So instead of having it as the background or as testimonials like we did today, you've got images in that area. Then we see how beautifully the words coming from the left and the right, which is the animation that we spoke about in that section. The normal testimonials, but they're not scrolling, and a video at the bottom. All right, so those are that one. Then we've got the preschool one. I'm going to refresh here. We had the jumping up and down of that image, which is an animation. We have some animation happening right here. There is an animated star that changes if we go over it. This was actually a very interesting session because Pia did something else with footprints on the moon that was really, really awesome. And in this case here, if you hover, this is also a hover for the box hover that you can create that effect. And then we've got our normal buttons at the top leading to different places on our website with images and a rotation banner again. And then an accordion at the bottom. So you guys can start to see what we are saying when we say, please do yourself a favor and go and take a look at our previous sessions because you're going to learn a lot from them. All right, so that is basically all from me today. It was a weird session today because Pierre wasn't here, and I'm sure that my voice in the background or the sound is not so great today as well, and the background is not so great, but that's fine. We got through it. Next week, we're going to start a brand new series. I don't know what it's going to be about. You guys must let us know what you would like to see. I think we should build an e-commerce store so that you guys can get an idea of what that can look like. So I think that could be the next level. And I hope that you guys enjoy these Template Tuesdays. Let us know in the comments if you are watching replays. We really appreciate that. And for you guys that's always supporting us here in the comments, thank you so very much. We really appreciate it. And it doesn't go on, you guys do not go unnoticed. And remember, later today at 1 p.m. EST time, we've got our Digital Marketing 101 workshop. Don't miss that. Pia will be there, obviously, to answer all your questions that you might have. So just remember to be there. That is basically all from us. Have an awesome day, and we will see you again. Oh, Clarabelle said, membership site. I think that is a good idea. A lot of people are asking me about memberships. There's more asking about the membership sites than the actual e-commerce stores. Great idea, Clary. We'll do membership sites next week. All right, all about that. Have an awesome day. We will see you next week. Bye.